got ourselves team 1 with, if I switch over, there we go, worked now. Leaf. Oh, and that team was survival. Ballasta last time with Lynn on that team. Stony, Web as a sub rogue, and we got Chicago. I'm liking this set a lot too. Wait, are you trying to put on the enchant real quick? Okay, cool. This way in the back, gonna get shot out of their cannon in just a moment. Same with Seawork, swapping over to the Frosty Mage. Mead immediately up there versus Stony, going in for the stun. Stony might be looking immunity. Big Hammer hanging over Mead's man's head. Stony might need to go for Crusade of his own. Blind Mead just ends up immunity with a bubble. Stony may be looking at a bubble as well, trying to see it, do the very best he can to not give up the bubble. Immediately has to go for it. Is Mead finally? Wait, no, Mead switches up things a little. Mead, wait, is Silver gone? Okay, Seawork's gone apparently. RIP. Team 2 is going to have to do the very, very best to try to see if it can hold the fort since Seawork is down, but Mead does end up holding his own versus Stony. Does end up doing pretty well. He switched over actually from Crusade into just normal wings. I didn't even notice it. Going to be explosive by Leaf. Could potentially remove the Blessing of Protection. Trying to see if he can get himself a setup. Manic better to follow as Mead got himself a blind stun right after the grenade getting thrown in. As Mead, I don't really know what he can really do in this situation. Maybe if he gets himself wings of Reward of Glories as well as self-healing, maybe he can somehow stabilize. Try to see if he can do that. Shield of Vengeance might give you potentially a chance here. Hanging over Leaf said maybe cannot remove it. Wait, hold on. Maybe Fade Death still does remove the hammer, but he can't remove magical effects nearly as easily. Does go in for the slam. It's going to be survival of the fittest. Me still got him some wings for a little bit longer. Laying hands on top of it. Got him some 2 forbearance abilities. Leave for the trinket. Might still be going down though. Got himself a bit of exil. Trying to see if he can turn the attention back onto Mead though. Does see himself a big kill shot. That Chakram does end up ripping right through the pally. That was a rough one, but he wasn't doing bad at all. But Nerve going to be up next. Got himself full down to the Leaf. Immediate turtle shell. Trying to see if he can stay on top of the hunter as best as possible. Looking for a quick cast. Leaf with a stun. Actually, no scatter. So still maybe has a stun for later. If you get down the pet, you'll be golden. The fact that Hunters can no longer remove the dots with the Feigned Death, by the way, is brutal, dude. Ever since they've done this, well, Hunters like at least removing dots, removing all these debuffs off of themselves, it's gotten impossible. You can't remove them anymore. You can just give yourself a bit of DR, but for Nerf, you just put dots on you. You can't go for a heal. You can never get a Manic Bandage off ever again. Web is going to be up next. For Nerf, it's going to be a hell of a match. Try to see if he can randomly knock a rogue out in the open. Last time, him versus Lentenium actually went pretty well for Nerf. He didn't do bad at all there at all. He's represented Bunkers pretty well. But against a sub-rogue, it's another story. Dueling an Outlaw, pretty rough. Dueling sub-rogue, I don't know. That's a rough one. But he's just going to try to see if he can recuperate all his cooldowns, man. Nature's Vigil, make sure you got a Trinket, make sure you have Bark Skin. I feel that maybe if you put dots on a rogue and keep him at a distance, kind of like how Arcane and Elemental Shaman would approach it. If you could just keep the damage and pressure from a miles range away from the rogue as a druid, you might be alright. Web hanging out by the eye is actually going to pick it up. For Nerf, that's an opportunity to get some dots with the root immediately. Smoke bomb up for Web, trying to see if he can give himself a bit of cover. Nerf needs to make sure there's always an angle where he has range onto Web, but doesn't let the rogue catch him. Does supply the Sunfires. If you keep pressure on the corner, you'll be fine. Thorns to follow. He is to a blind as the rogue is trying to see if he can get himself a reset. The Fade Dragons are not even attacking the rogue. Does still dot him either way though. That blind being so short does not let rogues easily escape. And there goes the Fade Dragon, able to keep pelting you from behind the pillar. It might be kind of good. Trying to see if you can knock the rogue out from behind, out in the open. Nerf still able to maintain those dots though. For Web, this is not a great situation to be in. The constant damage he's taking eventually is going to take a toll on him. Bash immediately trigger to follow. It's going to be Nerf with a Barkskin. Got himself burst as well as Nature's Vigil to hopefully get himself a bit of healing. The more damage he does, the more healing he's going to get out of it. Got himself a bit of root onto Web, trying to see if he can maybe force vanishes out of him. Maybe a Cloak of Shadows. At some point, Web might have to go for all those vanish and cloak as well. Full dots, constant pressure. Got him so sippy cups to shoot and help him stabilize, but his dampening slowly climbs up little by little. It's going to make it difficult. Web cannot get himself a proper opener at all though. Got him so sippy, but that pet as well as the dots, they're just not letting him recover at all. And then, are you just auto-attacking through the wall? I think you actually are able to get auto-attacks through him. With the Thorns, got himself mushrooms as well as plenty of dots. Web might be looking at a situation where he needs a cloak and vanish and everything just to catch a clean reset. Otherwise, he's just going to be in a rough spot. He's just going in with auto attacks. Vanish, still dotted. Unless you're off of dots, no, still dotted. If you can just keep it redotted, you might have a cloak here. It's going to be a root. Might just have press cloak. It's going to be Nerf breaking out of it with big burst. Web. Oh, hold on a second. He cloaks it, but he's still cheating death. That thing is still chasing you. Hold on, it still puts you out in the open. Does it? Maybe? No. He got himself a reset, but that's a cheap death out of the rogue. That was incredible. Like, the rogue actually, there's a potential opportunity for nerf to win. Normally, when I look at sub-rogues, I'm like, oh, caster, not winning against sub-rogue. Just not happening. Nerf, I think, is really changing my mind on this one. Web does get himself a line of sight, have himself a shot of sap he can go for. Nerf is getting super aggressive. I am liking this aggressive boomkin play. Does he get auto? Bash around the corner. No trigger for the rogue. Fully dotted nerf at the very least. Thorns, you don't even want to attack him. Star Surge is right after. Just hurting every single global. Going for a blind, but still dotted feint. No cheat death anymore. You have to have a go at some point. Trying to see if he can get himself a reset. I don't know if he'll be able to. Knockback doesn't quite connect smoke bomb. Maybe gives you a bit of cover, but not quite. Does get a ruiner on the guy too. Web is just gonna have a go. Sepsis, everything, but I think he's just melting. Hold on, he got a bit of damage. Big secret technique, that's a lot of output. Bursted for nerf, gives him a little bit of survivability. Web does get himself a little bit of recovery while dances a back-to-back. But a Star Surge is, and a Star Surge at the end. Chicago doesn't want to give nerf a chance here, though. I'm surprised. Normally, Chicago's very much honor bound, but it grips the entire team in Sunder. Oh, Salt, please don't attack. He's just trying to walk out of there. He's like, I'm not involved in this. I am not involved in any of this. Are you next? I think you are next. Into a big ascent in Chicago, try to see if he can fight versus him. Wall, Guardian, everything available. So I'll just try to see if he can haymaker Chicago out, if at all possible. There's a bit of a gear disparity between the two, but he's still slapping Chicago upside the head with his wind strikes. I was really hoping Chicago would give Nerf a chance there for a proper honor duel, but didn't want to give him a chance at all. That Druid did so good. Beat a sub-rogue. How often do you see that? Chicago getting zapped up back-to-back Salt, trying to see if he can rotate defenses to keep himself afloat. I think Wolf's still available. Does have last bit of wall. Not a lot of defenses left. I think Chicago, yeah. The gear difference does make it pretty apparent, though. Cool, this trying to not give Chicago a chance. It's going to be immediate trinket out of Chicago really early on, but there's not much left at the end. Yeah, it's got to be Lintenia versus Cole. Sub versus Outlaw. Which one wins this? Cole this doesn't have cloak, so I guess that is going to put him behind a little. Lintenia walks in with everything. Blade Flurry. Try to see if we can get the rogue out. Sap immediately for Cole. There's going to be at least an opening. Could have shot immediate human racial by Lintenia with a blind before Cole can get himself a setup into a full vanish cheap shot. Just trying to see if we can go for a full go. Ambushes back to back with a cheap shot after. Evasion for evasion. Still trying to see if he can puncture. Ambush is actually going through evasion. Hold on. Cool, this is not out of the woods. Those ambushes are hitting you from behind. You can't dodge those. It's actually just full on damage. Trying to see if he can vanish out. Does get fanned. Hold on, he actually does get flurried there for a second. Not fanned, but flurried. Still AoE'd. Lintenia needs to catch himself a reset real quick unless there's a rupture. Does go. No, they're bleeding. They're dotted. That's cool. I don't think it's trying to let him get any kind of resets whatsoever, if at all possible. Got himself a vanish. Cheap shot. Cool with a trinket. Hold on. Lintenia with a cloak. Avoiding the cheap shot, I think, or whatever the guy was trying to throw at him. Does finally get a stun. Sepsis to follow. No cloak for this one. Might be a lot of damage. Blind by Lintenia. They don't have a go, but they have a disarm. And Cool does not have weapons. Without weapons, the rogue is not really much. Oh my god, that's so clutch. Oh! Lintenia won it! I'm actually surprised. Normally, Outlaw rogues and sub-rogues usually it's really one-sided. Apparently not. Wow. I want to see that Boomkin play some more. Nerf is kind of nuts. I want to see that guy go again. My goodness. Let's get another one going.